Hello everyone, this is Dr. Zoidberg, also known as Nitpicking. Today I want to explain the whole plot of Star Trek Discovery Season 2. And first I will draw the timeline. So this is the timeline. Let's say the number 0, the start of Season 2 of Star Trek Discovery. And the number 1 is the end of the season, even though we don't really know how long the season lasted. Usually a season of Star Trek lasts about 1 year. Here we have World War III. We also have the time of Michael's parents, and we have the time of 130 years. We know that somewhere here, all life in the galaxy got destroyed by control developed somewhere by Section 31. We don't know exactly when. So where does the time travel begins? I will use a red marker to symbolize time travel. We know that Michael's mother developed a time suit using technologies Section 31 gathered and the time crystal from the Klingons, and she accidentally jumped in time to 930 years in the future, and she saw the events of all life being destroyed. Then she tried to change it, but to prove it she had to do something big to see if the changes hold up to her time. She wants to prove to herself that changing the past is indeed possible. And takes a group of people and saves them because they're supposed to die anyway, so she knows saving them will not affect the timeline of the rest of the Federation because they're supposed to die anyway. And she relocates them to a different planet, somewhere in Beta Quadrant, where they cannot affect the rest of the timeline. Then she comes back to the future to see if they indeed managed to survive. We know that they actually died somewhere here by radioactive debris. But up until this point, they were thriving. So therefore she knows that it is possible to change the timeline and to save people in the past. She also knows that somewhere here Michael died. That's her daughter, so she wants to save her. For some reason, she's unable to appear directly to normal people. I guess they don't really see her. They can only see glimpses of her, like those people in the church saw her when she saved them, but usually she cannot communicate with people directly. Yet she still tries to save Michael. By talking to Spock. Then about here, Spock starts seeing visions of the 7 signals before they actually appeared. He somehow knows how to go to a specific planet to meet the Red Angel. That Red Angel must have been Michael's mother as well, because in the mind meld with the Red Angel, he could see the future destruction. That means the Red Angel was from the future in which everything was destroyed. Therefore, Michael's mother, who knew she could communicate with Spock, because she did that already, went to save Michael. So we know that the Red Angel, who is Michael's mother, travels back in time to about here. But she's the one that he mind melded with. And Spock goes crazy from the visions of the future, which he thinks are illusions, so he institutionalized himself in a mental institute. Now, in the beginning of the season, Starfleet sees the several symbols appearing at the start of Season 2. And then they begin to try to find the signals, and they find them appearing one after the other. The first one was the crashed ship on the asteroid, in which they had to save Jet Reno. The second one was Terra Elysium, the same planet that was saved in the nuclear war, which they had to save again because it was extinct until the time of Michael's mother. So they actually managed to save this planet. We don't know exactly how that affected the future. The third one was Kaminar, in which they saved the Kelpians. Fourth one was Boris. Fifth one was Zahia. Sixth symbol was to guide the Discovery through the wormhole. And the seventh signal was after Discovery jumped to the future, which was to let Spock know she arrived safely in the future. So let me write these quickly. Also, we know that Discovery used what they found with Signal 1 with the asteroid to save Terra Elysium. Later they jumped to save Kaminar. We also know that at some point Michael's mother caused them to meet the sphere. Somewhere here. Thanks to meeting the sphere, they are able to liberate Saru's people. Later they went to Borat to get the time crystal, which they needed to use later in order to jump the Discovery to the future. They built a new Red Angel suit toward the end of the season. They put the crystal inside. They needed all of these elements to make the final plan work. They needed the Kelpians to help fight the control ships. They needed Jetrino to figure out how to charge the crystal. They needed to save Terra Elysium so that they will have a planet to go to in the future. And with all these elements, they also were able to defeat Control right here and jump the Discovery to the future from here. Which probably is an alternate timeline, most likely. Also, before the jump to the future, Michael created the 6 symbols before it. In order to make it possible for her to jump to the future, jump the whole ship into the future, and then she made one more jump from somewhere in the future to create the 7th symbol to let Spock know she's alright. So we know the sphere was always supposed to happen at some point, causing the destruction of all life. But with all of these events, they are able to sever that connection and preventing the future, starting a new timeline. All of this was achieved by pushing the course of the sphere to meet the Discovery, and then later the Discovery took that information to the future, which basically means they started a new timeline going from here to here. The only piece missing is how did Spock see the visions of the future if Michael's mother never knew that. That means that vision must have came from Michael in the future. So we have Michael somewhere here. Spock had to know about the red signals. That means Michael from the new timeline had to jump all the way back to let Spock know about the 7 signals that are going to be appeared. Otherwise, all of this wouldn't work. So this is something that season 3 has to do yet. So this is Michael going back to show Spock a vision. So there you have it, very simple plot. The question is, how did the mother will appear? Will Michael's mother be in the new timeline they created in which life was not destroyed? Because they prevented destruction of all life. So will Michael's mother still exist in the new future they arrive at? It's possible she remained protected from the changes in the timeline because she's outside of that time. So maybe the changes did not affect her, and only the universe around her changed. And also the planet Terra Elysium will still exist up until that time because it was saved after the 2nd signal. So I think I covered everything. Let me know what you think. If I missed anything, let me know if this makes sense or not, and we can continue to analyze it. It does kind of make sense, except that one part of Spock's in the future, that's the only missing thing we haven't seen yet. That's the only thing that has to be explained. So that should be done in season 3. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comment section below, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.